don't believe in pressure. The pressure is not being prepared for what you want to do. Colin Kaepernick. Welcome to the 10-minute sales talk with Terry Cameron. Thanks for hanging out with me again today, guys. This is our third episode, and we're going to talk mostly about your very first day at the dealership. This is a stressful day, not only at the dealership, but any job that you start. Your very first day is a tough one. You're not quite sure what to expect. You have an idea, but there's still too many things unanswered. So let's go ahead and get started. But before we do, I'd like to give you some information on how to reach out to me. So if you have any questions, anything that I could answer, any kind of comments, if you think I'm full of shit, or if you think I've got some real good content, I'd like to hear from you. Email me at 10-minute sales talk, the number 10-minute sales talk at hot.rr.com. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. So hopefully in the very first episode, you paid attention. You did your homework. You did some studying. You know what Android audio is. You know what Apple CarPlay is. You know what Smart Cruise Control is. If you're at a Ford dealership, you know a little bit about an F-150. You know a little bit about a Mustang. If you're at a Kia dealership, you know about the new up-and-coming Kia models. In other words, you're ready to go. Hopefully a couple days before you started, you scouted things out. You know where parking area is at. You saw what the other salespeople were wearing, and you're prepared, maybe even look a little bit better than those guys are. So your very first day, make sure you're on time. There's nothing worse than starting your new career out late on your first day. And in my case, that's one of my biggest pet peeves, is attendance. If you're supposed to be there at 8:30, be there at 8:25. If you're supposed to be there at 9 o'clock, be there at 8:55. Your start time is the time you start, not the time you get there. You need a couple minutes to get ready, or a couple more minutes to get ready, then get there even earlier. Myself, my day starts at 8:30, but I'm there at 7:30. I need that time to get prepared in order to have an opportunity to have a successful day. I have to let you know, onboarding sucks in the car business. It's usually left up to the new car or the used car sales manager. Those guys and gals are busy. The mornings especially, they're trying to get their day started. So if nobody pays attention to you for the first hour or so, don't take it personal. It happens all the time. But you can use this time wisely. You can observe what's going on around you. You can point out the salespeople that are actually doing their jobs, the ones that are preparing for the days. You can also find the ones that are spending their morning trying to figure out who's going to get breakfast and what is it going to be. Hell, they're probably even talking about lunch already. You can use this time to stop down at the service department, meet the service advisors, introduce yourself to them, may even get a chance to meet the service manager. Again, you parked in the right place, you're dressed properly, and now the human resource manager finally made it to you. Now he or she's probably going to send you to do a drug test. I know, we all pass them every single time. You're going to have to read the company handbook. You're probably going to watch a video on human resource issues. Now, just a point I'd like to make is, as soon as you get the time, you need to read that handbook from cover to cover. There's a lot of important information in there, and it's going to answer a lot of questions that you're going to have before you have them. So read that. Pay attention to it. What should have happened prior to you getting there is you had your usernames and passwords set up for your CRM and your brands or your manufacturer's websites so you can do your training and your certification. If not, well, sometimes that takes 24 to 48 hours before you can even log in. So when your sales manager is through with you, it's time to start your certification. So be prepared to sit in front of a computer for a day, maybe even a few days. You're going to have to learn about the vehicles. Now this is just going to go right through everything really quick, so you need to pay attention. And as much as you're going to hate having to do this, I recommend that you watch them a couple times. The more you know about the product, the better. You can also take some time out in between that, each model maybe and go out and touch them and feel them. Good salespeople like to do that. They can read things and watch things, but as soon as they touch them, they start to grasp things a little bit better. When your certification is done on your product, you need to learn about your CRM, your customer relations management tool. This is your private secretary, and if you do things right, it'll save you a lot of time, make you a lot of money, and help you look a lot more professional than the rest of the gang. This is a good time to grab that hot prospect list, the one that we talked about in episode 1. The contacts are on your phone, your friends, your family, your ex-co-workers. This is a time to start entering them into your CRM and scheduling a time to make the phone call to let them know where you work. Hopefully the dealership has provided you with a company email address. If not, you need to come up with your own that sounds something like what you do for a living. For example, KiaTerry@gmail.com. I think we already learned our lesson from Hillary that it's not really smart to send out business emails from our personal private account. A little heads up. I need to warn you about the old school guys that are going to be at the dealership. They're the ones that are going to want to have a little bit of fun with you, a little poking and prodding. They're the ones that are going to send you to the service department to get a pint of backup grease. Don't take that personal either. They're just trying to feel you out a little bit, see who they're going to be working with. But you also need to know that they're not there to help you. The better you do, the more success you have, the worse they look. And they don't want to look any worse than they do right now. So take it with a grain of salt and move on. Don't let them bother you. Smile, laugh, have fun with them, but don't let them hold you back. And again, don't take anything they say or do personal. That's not what it's meant to be. Your first day is going to be long and drawn out. But by the end of the day, you're going to have so many things come and go, so many questions to ask. Hopefully you're going to have some of them answered. But don't be discouraged. It's just your first day. Come at it correctly. Show up with a good attitude. Have some enthusiasm and expect to make some mistakes because you're going to make them. Hell, I still make them, and I've been doing this for 30 years. So again, it's going to be a stressful day, a long day, but if you do this right, it'll be a good day. And you have to admit, if you keep on doing the same thing, by the end of the month, you're going to be a hell of a lot better at it than you are right now. Hopefully you're following the right steps and you're following the right salespeople. Hopefully your manager's giving you the right information and the right guidance, and he's got your back. Hopefully she's leading you to possibly taking their position, because that's what the goal is. We want to hire somebody that's eventually going to replace us. The better they look, the better we look. Remember, the name of the game is to sell cars, make money, and get out of there on time. You're going to put in a lot of hours over the next several years, so if you're going to be there, somebody ought to pay for them. Get good at what you do. Be a professional. Eventually, the money's going to come to you without you even asking for it. This is such a great career to have. The highest paid profession in the world. It's all up to you. Remember, the sky's the limit. Good luck, and we'll see you next week. And guys, if you don't mind, go to iTunes and leave me a review. Hopefully a 5-star review. I'd like to keep doing this. And the more five-star reviews I get, the more people that are going to listen, the longer I get to do this, and the more fun we're going to have. See you next week.